On the news tonight, federal government commissions cancer treatment centers as part of commitment to improve healthcare delivery. Plus, correspondent examines pains of prospective tenants as securing decent accommodation in Ogun State. Good evening and welcome to Nta Ijebu Ode News at 7. My name is Fatima Hassan, and here are the news in details. The presidency has reaffirmed unwavering commitment to completing and delivering federal government projects initiated under the current administration. This assurance was given by a federal government delegation during the official commissioning of newly built cancer treatment centers in 3 states as part of the renewed hope agenda for improved healthcare delivery in Nigeria. Sali Abdullah Gwanara accompanied the delegation during the exercise and filed in this report.
Latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare affirmed that about 120,000 cases of cancer are being recorded in Nigeria annually. The spread of this deadly disease, cancer, is steady, but the means of treatment is minimal for decades.
Our data, month on month, in UBTA shows that cancer consistently ranks as number 1 or 2 or 3 cause of death in this hospital for the past 7 years.
The new linear accelerator will undoubtedly enhance our cancer treatment capabilities, allowing us to provide precise and effective radiation therapy to our patients.
With the commissioning of this center now, any Nigerian who decides to go abroad for cancer treatment is doing so out of choice.
These oncology centers, built and fully equipped in Katsina, Enugu, and Edo State, are a practical demonstration of the federal government's determination to provide accessible and affordable treatment of cancer.
Beyond the infrastructure and equipment, the training has already advanced significantly, and more clinicians will be trained, doctors, nurses, technicians, medical physicians, and others, to provide care. So essentially, we have a full package to provide care for Nigerians, but also potentially others from outside the country can come to Nigeria to be provided with the care. And the issue of affordability, sustainability is also factored in.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not only promising, he is also delivering. And this is the message that we are bringing here today. Everything that the president has told you, we are seeing it from the students' loan scheme, from the credit core, from the investment in agriculture, in healthcare. For the first time, look at the shift that we are seeing in the field of medicine or healthcare in this country. The Honorable Minister is not just focusing on getting drugs or getting equipment to this country. He's also focusing on ensuring that we industrialize medically in Nigeria.
When he started on day 1, when he introduced changes, which meant that the Nigerian could no longer wake up and feel that his path to wealth was through privileged access to foreign exchange or privileged access to petroleum products. By the same token, today, the Nigerian no longer has to look abroad, has to look to a far distance in order to get treatment.
Development partners assured that cancer treatment has come to stay in Nigeria.
This is our submission to you. This center, as it opens today, will not follow the other trajectories where they are shut after 6 months. The operatorship, the maintenance, the ensuring that we have the trained clinical and non-clinical staff.
As a country that have had independence since from 1960 to now, we are currently beginning to do the critical investment needed in cutting-edge technology and healthcare. It shows a lot about what leadership can do. It shows a lot about what current leadership is doing.
It is heartwarming to know that the initiative is aimed at reducing physical and financial pain in accessing healthcare.
For the 6 states of the South-South region, I want to say thank you, Mr. President, And kudos to the administration.
Additional 3 oncology centers of similar status are underway to make the number 6 across federal healthcare institutions in Nigeria. From Benin, Edo State capital, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Reviewing the Child Rights Act, ensuring full domestication to enhance child-friendly justice and enforcement is a major area of action being taken by the Ministry of Women Affairs to secure a better future for Nigerian children. This formed the basis of discussion between the Ministry and African Union in Abuja. Monsoda Mendate reports.
A delegation from the African Union here at the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs headquarters Abuja to discuss critical matters that bother on children.
Various member states of the African Union have hosted, as you may be aware, the sessions of the committee.
In Africa, there's a saying that it takes a village to raise a child, or it takes a community. So the African Union might be that community, the Federal Republic might be that community. What is important is that we help our children to get out the best that they can.
No culture should translate into abuse for any child. And I'd like to reiterate our commitment to ensuring that, our children have been safeguarded, they're safe, and they're developing, and they're protected. So we look forward to working together to ensure that the African child is well protected.
Updating the National Child's Right Policy to reflect evolving social dynamics and international best practices will be the next line of action, the minister assures. Mongso Damien Ati, NTA News.
The journey to finding a suitable rental property in Nigeria is often fraught with challenges, particularly navigating the murky waters of rental practices dominated by estate agents. In this report, Yemi Dalemo examines the pains of prospective tenants in Abeokuta while securing a decent accommodation in Ogun State. It reports.
Will come up with agency fee, caution fee, lawyer and agreements, which you will not end up saying.
Oyindamola Olayinka is new in Abeokuta, having been deployed to Ogun State for official assignment, requiring her to spend about 12 months in the state. She explained that she had encountered various challenges and a sense of vulnerability while searching for accommodation through house agents, including pressure to share personal information, being steered towards suboptimal properties, and difficulties in getting verbal agreement in writing, among other exploitations.
Once you get an apartment for 500,000 naira, just know these agents are going to take half of the money, which is 250, added to your main rent, which is 750, saying it's a total package something. So it was kind of ridiculous. It chased some of my friends from getting an apartment.
Oyindamola's experience is what Fatia Razak and Idris Adelakun also faced, navigating the murky waters of rental practices from property agents who ensnared them in a web of unexpected fees, especially for property inspection, leading to frustration and financial strain.
The so-called agents are the one behind this house increase.
Put their own, I think, fees on the money. You understand? Probably because it's a means of survival for them and their own source of income too.
Most owners of the house, let me just put it that way, they are not the issue. The issue here is the agent. It's a case of an agent wanting to even earn more than the owner of the house. Even some agents are even having issues with house owners.
Mr. Papatunde Jolaosho, an estate agent, tries to absolve recognized practitioners from the allegations of extortion and arbitrary increase in house rent to make profit.
The only way government can come in is if our government can build a low-cost houses.
So it is better that the state government at various levels should standardize, register all the agents and standardize the charges. And more importantly is that the community development associations should work in alliance with the state government.
Access to comfortable and secure housing is a fundamental need of every Nigerian, thus the need for urgent government intervention to save prospective tenants from estate agents who are exploring the desperation of prospective tenants to maximize profits. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
For the first time, the world will be observing July 25 as a day set aside by United Nations to appraise the efforts of the judiciary and call on governments across the world to ensure the well-being of judges. Musa Toliat in this report takes a look at the challenges mutating against the well-being of judges and the way forward in Lagos. His report.
The declaration of July 25 as International Day for Judicial Wellbeing stems from a draft resolution submitted to the United Nations General Assembly on March 4, 2025 by the Republic of Nauru, seeking a day to recognize the efforts of judges and create conducive environment for them to thrive. The resolution, now known as Nauru Declaration, was adopted by 160 member states and 70 co-sponsors. Here in Lagos, the judiciary is still grappling with a shortage of courtrooms, especially when the oldest courthouse in the country, the Lagos High Court, Igboshere, with 22 courtrooms, was looted and razed by rampaging hoodlums during the violent EndSARS protest in 2020. Although in 2022, the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, performed the groundbreaking to rebuild the judicial edifice in 2 phases, 3 years down the line, work is still in progress.
Lower and mid-level, the federal courts and the state high courts, there's a severe dearth and shortage of courts to hear and dispense justice on multiple matters.
Inadequate funding has also been identified as the bane of frequent delays and poor access to justice. Lack of independence from other arms of government is capable of exposing the judges to needless interference.
The executive is still taking care of so many responsibilities that has to do with the judiciary. For example, renovation of courts and the provision of infrastructure. There is no what I would call 100% financial autonomy, whereby the judge or the chief judge or the admin judge can say, oh, this is what we want to do, and it comes direct line straight from the budget.
As a way forward,
we are talking about well-being of judiciary, we are talking about the remuneration of judges, we are talking about infrastructure, and we are talking about support staff. And I will just quickly say that it can be better. There are 3 arms of government, and the ideology of that is supposed to be independence of each arm. And so by the time that the judiciary has to wait for one arm of government to make approvals and before monies are trickled down to them, I don't think it's in line, in tune, in consonance with the intent of having separation of powers.
Observers say the Nauru Declaration on Judicial Wellbeing has come to stay, and it behoves governments at all levels to make conscious efforts to address the challenges that tends to undermine the integrity of the third arm of government. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Still on our English updates, we'll be going on a short break. Please stay tuned.
Are you desiring a future career in nursing science, law, medical laboratory science, public health, accounting, economics, agricultural extension and rural development, criminology and security studies, and other NUC-approved and accredited professional academic programs? If your UTME score 140 and above, then this information is for you. Admission for all these courses is currently ongoing at the Atiba University, Oyo, Nigeria's fastest growing and cost-effective private university. The university is located in the peaceful, serene and secure environment of Oyo Township in Oyo State, Nigeria. Hurry now, admission is in progress. Visit www.atibauniversity.edu.ng to apply. Or call any of these numbers: 081-034-94152, 080-385-79822. What are you waiting for? The future is now.
Oh, what a wonderful world of Sure Clean detergent. Oh yes, you can have a clean and bright wash with Sure Clean. Sure Clean detergent is tough on stains, gentle on your hands, and leaves clothes smelling fresh. Oh see, for clean white and all colors, Sure Clean detergent makes you shine. As you spread it all, you can see the shine of Sure Clean brightness. Now, wear your smile with pride and nothing to hide. Sure Clean detergent makes your family clean and happy. Sure Clean detergent, happiness with every wash.
Welcome back from the break and thanks for joining us. Wife of Kwara State Governor and Chairperson, Nigerian Governors Spouse Forum, Ambassador Professor Olufolake Abdulrazak has charged women to participate more in the drive to improve the nation's economy to enhance national growth. She also called on women to guide against rubella, also known as German measles, which can result to dire consequences if necessary vaccines are not taken to prevent it. Shola Wade has more.
At an event with the theme, Domestication of National Women's Economic Empowerment, a panel of discussers spoke on the need to empower women and ascribe various roles to them for speedy economic development of the nation. Wife of the Kwara State Governor and chairperson Nigeria's Government Spouses Forum, Ambassador Professor Olufolake Abdulrazak, charged women to excel in their various fields of endeavor and also do the needful for the family and national growth. She reiterated the commitment of her NGO, Ajike People's Support Center, to continue advancing the cause of women's economic empowerment, working closely with state and non-state actors. Also, Ambassador Professor Olufolake Abdulrazak held the sensitization program for wives of local government chairmen in Kwara State on the need to mobilize people in their various communities on measles and rubella vaccines.
Us as stakeholders to drive the sensitization and awareness on the rollout of measles and rubella vaccine in our communities to ensure that the 95% coverage is achieved. And as such, I commend the proprietary of this event and laud the collaboration between the Center for Wellbeing and Integrated Nutrition Solutions, CWINS, and the Nigeria Governor Spouses Forum.
We're introducing the combined dose for measles and rubella vaccine into the routine immunization schedule. For those of us parents who know that we previously had the measles vaccine introduced into at 9 months and at 15 months of age.
Relevant stakeholders present at the event also stressed the need to sensitize the people at the grassroots to the dangers of the disease. In a nutshell, Wahid, NTA News.
The 8-day fidal prayer of a community leader, Alhaji Monsuru Adefeso, and late father of a staff of NTA Imeko, Lukman Adefeso, has been held. Anthony Ganduno witnessed the ceremony held at Ibiade community in Ogun Waterside local government area of Ogun State and brings us the report.
That Quranic citation by Islamic scholars speaks volume of situation at Ibiade community as family, friends, relatives and Muslim faithful from Ile-Ife, Ijebu Ode, Lagos and within Ogun State converged to honor late Alhaji Monsuru Adefeso at his 8-day fidal of his demise from the land of the living. In a brief lecture, the Eketa Diniagba of Ibiade land, Alhaji Abdulganiyu Adeyanju reminded the congregation the temporary nature of our existence and the need to worship our Creator as well as impact positively on humanity for us to enjoy eternal rest. Apart from the prayer for the repose of the deceased, other supplications were also made for the Adefeso family, the children and the Ibiade community at large. Guests were thereafter entertained, where some members of the Adefeso family and the Imam of Ile-Ife Muslim community, where late Alhaji Adefeso lived before his death, shared their memorable experience with late Alhaji Monsuru Adefeso while he was alive.
It was one that took me from beginning to where I am today. So therefore, I appreciate him, I appreciate God. May God continue to give him a perfect rest.
From Lukman Adefeso act and behavior, we could see that it's really come from a very lovely home, and the training that Alhaji Monsuru Adefeso has given has reflected in him and other members of the family, siblings as well.
Children in their tribute spoke glowingly about the life and time of their late father.
He said anything in this life, we should not quarrel with anybody. Anything that upset us, we should call the person and tell him, even if he is not allowed, we should just forgive and forget.
I love my dad. My dad is amazing dad. He was there for every one of us. My dad is not educated, but he has almost 14 graduates. In fact, I love my dad. I used to call my dad after God.
My father is a role model, is a mentor,
is somebody who can be a father and sometimes a mother to any son or daughters. Yes, he has given a good legacy, which anybody can even emulate. I believe if I can still come back to this life, I believe I want him to still be my father.
Alhaji Mansur Adefeso, a great man, a very religious man, very thorough, a no-nonsense man, a complete family man. Alhaji has made and built a lot of people. Alhaji is known for credibility. Alhaji is so open and so accommodating.
Alhaji Mansur Adefeso, who died last Thursday at the age of 104 years old, was a staunch Muslim faithful, a community leader, and astute trader. He was survived by children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, among whom is Mr. Lukman Adefeso, a staff of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, from Ibiade in Ogun Waterside local government area of Ogun State. Anthony Gandonu, NTA News.
Now we all for tonight on our English update. Join us next week for more interesting stories and stay tuned for our Yoruba caster. Have a pleasant night rest.
Are you desiring a future career in nursing science, law, medical laboratory science, public health, accounting, economics, agricultural extension and rural development, criminology and security studies, and other NUC-approved and accredited professional academic programs? If your UTME score 140 and above, then this information is for you. Admission for all these courses is currently ongoing at the Atiba University, Oyo, Nigeria's fastest growing and cost-effective private university. The university is located in the peaceful, serene and secure environment of Oyo Township in Oyo State, Nigeria. Hurry now, admission is in progress. Visit www.atibauniversity.edu.ng to apply. Or call any of these numbers: 081-034-94152, 080-385-79822. What are you waiting for? The future is now.
Oh, what a wonderful world of Sure Clean detergent. Oh yes, you can have a clean and bright wash with Sure Clean. Sure Clean detergent is tough on stains, gentle on your hands, and leaves clothes smelling fresh. Oh see, for clean whites in all colors, Sure Clean detergent makes you shine. As you spread it all, you can see the shine of Sure Clean brightness. Now, wear your smile with pride and nothing to hide. Sure Clean detergent makes your family clean and happy. Sure Clean detergent, happiness with every wash.